Okay, so now we're going to the part number 6, summary of the laws. Melacha of Chotzo. Okay, the melacha. The biblical melacha of caring consists of transferring the object from a private domain to a public domain and vice versa, or moving the object for amos in a public domain. So, okay, so stop here. Transporting, meaning from one domain to another. It doesn't matter, from outside to the inside, or from inside to the outside, right? And plus 4 amos in the public domain. 4 amos in the public domain, meaning what? That I picked up thing from one place, and like in public domain, and I left, and I walk 4 amos, as we said, like it's 7 to 8 feet, about 2 meters. Like I don't know how many steps, 4 steps, right? 5 steps, and depends on the person, and you put it down, right? But if you picked up in a different domain, meaning you picked up in a private domain, so somebody has it in his pocket, but he dropped in a public domain, like not in direct way, with a shinui. So there is some leniency there. Okay, so again, from one domain, from public to private, from private to public, or 4 amos in the public. Okay. And rabbinically, the melacha also consists of transferring from either type of domain mentioned above to the carmelis, or vice versa, or moving the object for amos in the carmelis. So carmelis, I would say, most of the out domain, like when you go like outdoors, it's carmelis. Carmelis, it's not public domain, but we treat it as a public domain because Rabbi said so. So same, you don't go outside, you don't bring outside, from outside to inside, or 4 steps in this carmelis. Okay. This melacha applies to Yom Tov, so that carrying in many instances is prohibited. Right? This applies to Yom Tov. Carrying in many instances is prohibited, unless we said that there are exceptions. So we go to exception. Carrying that is permitted on Yom Tov. It is permitted to carry object from one domain to another, or 4 amos in a public domain or carmelis, for the sake of achel nefesh. Okay, so that's first permission if needed for food. So you go into somebody else's house, you can bring your cake or your bottle one, whatever you want, right? So there is no problem. Okay, for the sake of food, or food or preparation of the food. Okay, next one. Carrying is also permitted for the sake of the other Yom Tov needs, under the principle of mitoch. So this mitoch is since this is forbidden, since this is allowed, so that is allowed too. So since it is allowed to carry for the food preparation purpose, so then it is allowed to carry for other Yom Tov needs as well. For example, you carry your cedar, right, or you carry your glasses or something. Okay, no problem. Next one, even something that could have been brought to the destination before the Yom Tov may be carried on Yom Tov. Okay. So that's a big leniency, as we saw with regarding preparation of the food. Right, regarding preparation of the food, we said according to one opinion, right, at least with the two Chachamim, they said if you could have done it before Yom Tov, you should not do it on Yom Tov. Okay, even from preparation of food. So we said we allow, since there is a difference of the opinion, we allow to them to do it with a shiur, like with deviation. Okay, but of course it's not recommended. Try not to do it, but we can do it after the fact. Okay, so but in case of carrying, if you could have carried before the Yom Tov, So you're still allowed to carry on Yom Tov. So in my personal take in it, if a person goes this direction anyway, he's to this destination anyway, so he carries something. So it's not like big burden. It's not. I'm not sure. Maybe it's something heavy, but usually people don't carry heavy things. I mean, today. In olden days, maybe, but today, I don't know. Usually not. So next one, carrying that is prohibited on Yom Tov. So before we continue, any questions? What you said? Okay. So we continue carrying that is prohibited on Yom Tov. So basically we discussed these things, but he puts everything like in this in separate chapter. Okay, no problem. It is forbidden to carry object that from one domain to another, or 4 amos in a prohibited domain, for the purpose of having it there for the next day. Even the next day is Yom Tov, right? So as with all of the Halachos, even though it is permitted, it is permitted today only for this day of Yom Tov. So next day of Yom Tov is, as we said before, it's a different holiness. The first day is biblical, second is rabbinical. So of course it's not for sure. We know for sure that it's not on the same level of holiness, right? So we're not allowed to prepare for the next day. Okay, but we said that if you derive benefit from this item on this day, there is no problem. Okay, so the best example that I saw is this Haggadah on Pesach. So you went to someone, right, for a Pesach night, and then you coming back. So and you took your Haggadah back, but that's it, right? You would not need this Haggadah until after the nightfall and for a second day. But since if you're going to read something that Pesach laws, or you use it as a bencher or for a kiddush on the day, right? If you're not going to use cedar, I like to use cedar, but okay. So if you're going to use this this Haggadah, there is no problem. In Haggadah, I think is it a cedar for daytime? I assume in some Haggadahs is, I'm not sure if in mine you have daytime kiddush. I think so. I don't remember, but I think so. But I prefer to use cedar, but that's only me. Right, so if person is going to use it during the same day, there is no problem whatsoever. Next one, an object that is needed for Yom Tov and has fulfilled its purpose may not be carried back to its original location for storage. So that's also very straightforward. So if you brought a talis to shul, okay, so if you want to take it back, you have to just wear it, right? Otherwise, like it's for sure for the next day. Okay. What would be what else? I don't know. This still Haggadah. Okay. So next one. If the object is used for the performance of the mitzvah, for example, lulav, and one's inability to bring home might prevent him from taking it to the mitzvah in the first place, due to the concern of its loss, he may bring it home after using it, even if it's not needed for that day. Okay, so that's another amazing example. So lulav and esrog cost a lot of money. So and plus, if somebody use it or somebody break it, somebody steal it. I mean, not like we don't suspect adults, but kids. They run around, they play, they can open the box. It's like right. So and just take and play with it and maybe break it. Maybe it's going to fall. They say, "Oi," but what can you do, right? For you, there is no mitzvah, right? So if person is not going to take to shul and use it for halal in the morning, right? Because if you tell him you have to leave it there, so he would not agree, right? He would not agree to take it in the first place. So technically, like it's only beautification of the mitzvah. If you shake in the morning, this lulav in esrog, that's you fulfill your obligation. That's it. Right, so when you take it first thing in the morning, you make the blessing. After that, you take another 5 times. You don't make anything. You don't make the blessing, even though you use it. So technically, a person say, you know what, I'm going to do it in the house, right? I'm not going to take it to shul. So in this case, we allow him because of this distress, because he's now going to sleep well, or or I don't know, would not be able to concentrate, and because of that. But in shul that I go, some people leave and some people take back. But I take back because my family is going to shake it. So that's my reason. And as we said, as we said before, it's absolutely allowed, right? Because you take it not for you, but for other family members to do the mitzvah, or a neighbor, or whoever you want. Okay, no problem. So continue. Carrying to prevent distress or loss. It is a matter of dispute, so as we said before, right? Whether one may carry an unnecessary object on Yom Tov in order to alleviate concern that it might be lost if left behind. In practice, we stringent concerning this matter. So, I mean, of course, this lulav and esrog was exception, but trying to be stringent. Continue. If the object can possibly be hidden safely, all agree that it may not be carried. Okay, so if you have in a shul somewhere, usually in the shuls they have this metal boxes, like storages, right? And you have like a combination lock or something. So that's of course you cannot put their lulav because it's not going to fit there. But other things technically you can store there, and in this case you would not be allowed to take them back. Okay, if they're not needed for today. If it cannot be hidden, and the concern is that the loss will prevent the person from having his Yom Tov meal or another basic Yom Tov enjoyment, all agree that it may be carried. So if a person is going to get upset and could not concentrate and being constantly thinking about it, so we just let it go, right? But I think if a person would plan his day better and how all these activities, it would be many times that there are solutions according to this stringent opinion. Okay, continue. It is certainly permitted to carry in order to prevent the loss of something that is needed for Yom Tov. For example, carrying house key to prevent loss of Yom Tov necessities, right? in one's house. So that's very interesting explanation why we're allowed to carry the house key, right? Because you have your Yom Tov necessity in your house, and to store them safely you need to lock them up. However, if the loss can be averted in another way, for example, the house has a combination lock, his carrying is forbidden. So meaning if you have a second lock and it's combination lock, so maybe it's not as safe as other key locks. So please use this combination lock. Okay. So we continue. Next one, it is permitted to remove trash from one's home on Yom Tov to alleviate the discomfort. As we said, if it smells or overflowing, okay. When necessary, the trash may be taken to a bin that is in public domain. As we said before, we try not to, but if there is no other way, you can do it. Okay. It is forbidden to carry trash bin out to the street on Yom Tov for a sanitation pickup, right? Unless there is specific need to have the bin emptied that day. So, but if you just remove this bag, right, and you just put a new bag into your garbage pail, so it is empty. So for sure you would not need it for today. So it would not be allowed to take these bins out to the street. Okay. The bin should be taken out the street before the Yom Tov. As he said before, just leave it there. So of course where I live, they send everybody the postcard. I just think how much money they spend to send to every resident like a postcard. It's millions and millions of dollars. I don't know, what a waste of money. So, and in this postcard they say that you're not allowed to take out garbage like before 6 p.m. or something. Well, because of the rats. Rats comes like ridiculous things. Like rats, if they come at 4 p.m. and see there is no garbage, they don't go back. It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So usually when we take the garbage out at night, at night, and they pick up, and sometimes in the middle of the night, sometimes in the morning, early in the morning. But for sure not the evening. For sure not. So I'm not sure what this like how much it costs them to calculate these 2 hours. That if you put like 2 hours later, it's going to help this rats situation, and how much money they paid for these postcards. And it's not like standard postcard, the big one. I don't know, just to mail them, but plus to print them. I don't know, design. That's ridiculous. Okay, so rats would go home hungry because of these 2 hours. Okay. So continue. Carrying more than necessary. When carrying necessary item on Yom Tov, it is permitted to increase the amount that one carries, provided no additional melacha or extra effort involved, and one does not publicize one intent. As we said, the box of tissue or diapers. Okay. However, this is allowed only carrying the additional quantity of the same item, right? For example, extra diapers, but not additional different items. For example, various keys on a ring. That's what we discussed. Okay.